Hey everyone, Daniel here. Just wanted to take a second to talk to you about a couple of new things we have coming up in 2020. Starting in January, we're going to have 2 new shows coming to the Escaping Network. Now, I can hear you out there asking your stupid fucking little questions. What's the Escaping Network? Well, listen here, babies. Mama Bird's going to come and feed you that information. I'm Mama Bird in this situation, and you're my babies. It's a part of the news. We are launching our network, and with that, we have 2 new shows that I'm really excited to tell you about. The first one is a spin-off show by Kelsey and Roscoe called Yo, Where the Captions At. It is going to be a wild ride that you are really not going to want to miss. I'm very excited to show you guys that and to see where it goes from there. Secondly, at the end of January, we're going to take to the stars with a new Space Pirate Radio show called Space Pirate Radio. It follows the crew members of the Dawn as they lie, cheat, and steal their way across the universe. It's going to be our first full cast show, and who knows how that's going to be. We're excited. The whole decade just started. We can mess up now and learn later. It's great. Lastly, we're going to change the layout of the Escaping podcast to be a little more serial-based. And I don't mean Captain Crunch. I mean series-based and less one-shot episodic. That way we can tell you a little bit more long-format stories and not just, quick tales that we find funny. But with that, we will be taking a break in January this month to restructure and plan for what's coming up. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to have no episodes. In fact, what we're going to do is release our Patreon episodes, our Mandalorian / Verdito series, and that's going to be coming to you every Wednesday like we normally release. But just know, come February, it's going to be a different show with the same nerds that you've come to know and love. I think that's actually everything. So let's get you back to the show, and I love you. Yeah, I love you. Okay, bye.
By pressing play, you've entered a dimension where there are no apologies given for the ridiculous and random thoughts expressed here by these 2 brothers and their guests. With that being said, enjoy your experience. Y'all just gonna jump into this conversation, and right now I just want to give you a little bit of origin of the podcast before we get into the crux of it.
Oh, the great origin.
Yeah, the origin story. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start off with the origin of me and Ross's friendship. So for all those that been waiting for me and Ross to get the podcast, this is the origin story, the issue 0, if you will. This is the filler anime arc when you find out how these little kids became to be the adults that they are now when they first met. So this just goes back to 2000. I just moved here from Georgia, Columbus to be more precise, to 706, what it do. The first school I went to was Harrison High, and it was on registration day, and was in the gymnasium, and we're going to register for a class, and I'm just in there, and my stepdad happened to get into a conversation with Roscoe's mom, and they just start talking.
That's how it all became. Like, I don't know if it was registered for PE or art class.
It was one of them. We had both classes together. Both classes
back to back. And that's like literally the first day of school. Get to art class, seeing each other, realize that our parents talk to each other. Kelsey had a drawing of Goku, I want to say.
I don't even know what it was.
It was something anime related. Next thing you know, we were cool friends. Next thing I know, I was like, yeah, I got to go to gym. Kelsey was like, yeah, I got PE too. Next thing you know, we got same class. Friendship ever since then.
Yeah, and another fun fact too, we live like very close to each other. He lived on Marlow Block right by Sierra. I live off like it's like Olympia or something right down the street from Carmel. So we had to take the same activity bus to get to the school. Get to school because those buses didn't run that late afterwards in high school. So I used to ride with him, or we used to take the same bus together. Fast forward all these years later, Smart Tech, what they do?
STARK.
Hell yeah. And then we just decided we want to do a podcast because people say they like how we conversate. They would like to hear us talk about random shit because we are random individuals.
Well, more often, people say we should have our own show.
Oh, yeah. It started off with having our own reality show. And the reality show was never going to work because...
No, it couldn't have worked.
A, we cuss too lot.
B, people don't know us enough.
C, I masturbate way too much, so it'll be a lot of time of me not even being on screen because I need to handle myself. But when a story comes out, when we need to be specific about certain things would be talked about, and we didn't have time to be censored. So that's why I say there'd be no apologies here. What we say is what we say, and what we do is what we do. And hopefully you enjoy. If you're not, I'm sorry for that. But that might be the only apology you get because Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's ever perfect, man.
And so,
unless your name is Jesus Christ, and I don't know anybody named Jesus Christ.
okay, that's fine. And then, so long story short, after I started doing the Escaping podcast, which is the podcast that y'all know that I've been supporting and getting my foot in that door with that, and the lovely people I work with there, it helped me get to the space where me and Ross could get our podcast off the platform, because we tried to do it before, but the main thing that kept us back was the technology, because we just didn't have
as well as the fact
editing.
that most of the time we decide to do a podcast, it'd be when we're highly elaborated, and
But that's when the best things happen as well.
that is true though.
And just for y'all to know the origin of the name of the podcast, Yo, Where the Captions At? If you don't already know, me and Ross watch everything with captions on.
I only got one good eye. Sometimes I gotta see what's being said because I can't hear well. I need to know what's going on. I need them captions, baby.
And a lot of time too, me and him are having mad side conversations. We also have other things going on in the background. So we're talking amongst ourselves, so it's easier for us to watch things with captions on, so we at least could be reading the TV while talking to ourselves. And thusly, we also watch a lot of anime.
Baby.
So we always used to seeing subtitles, and even on the dubs, we still watch with the subtitles. So when we're watching anything, and we just like,
Yo, where the captions at?
yo, where the captions? Nigga, you ain't put the captions on? Bruh.
It gets so bad
Are
that
you not
people
gonna
get
put the
mad
captions
at
on?
us for the fact that we have to watch shit with captions on.
Yes, if I could pay money to go to the movie theater and put captions on the big screen, I would. But I did find out you can get a special tablet if you tell them you're hearing impaired, and they'll give it to you. And
Say
you can look,
word.
You can look at the
Oh, I'm
tablet
saying I'm hearing
and seeing the
impaired
captions.
all the time now.
Word. If you're handicapped, you might as well double
I
up on
might
that
as well
shit.
double up on
Bro,
it.
2 for 2. 2 ties, 2 handies.
But
all right.
today for our 000 episode,
Yes.
we do have one of our greatest.
No. That's not how we're gonna get into that.
Oh, well, my bad.
Yeah, now we about to edit out. Then I'm about to get into
go
this.
ahead.
So, guys, with that out the way, here we go. So, welcome to the special 0 episode of Yo, Where the Captions At? I'm yours truly, Kels for Show, aka the coolest theme of the decade. With me right now is my co-host. Wait up, no, my bro host.
Bro host? Oh, I'm liking that. Yo, it's Roscoe, aka the one-eyed bandit.
And with us today is a special guest. She's another Harrison alumni. Harrison, aka the H. One Miss Michelle Gideon. Would you like to say hello to the audience?
Hello.
Yes, y'all. And also with us always is going to be our guy in the chair. That debonair playboy himself is me, and Roscoe is the chocolate. He's the brown peanut butter in this Reese's cup that we call a podcast. My boy Daniel Rojas.
How's it going, everyone?
And yes, he will chime in when he feels appropriate. If not, he's always there. He's always silent but deadly, but he does keep it funky in a non-smell way.
I see you when you're sleeping, and goddamn, I hope you're awake.
Woo! I hope so too.
Because that would be creepy.
Like closet or window? I don't really know where you're.
Sometimes in a closet, sometimes under the bed, sometimes right behind you.
Holla.
But if you're in an insomnia,
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And I guess you'll just deal with it as you go.
yeah. Party.
So since this is like our first episode, we're just testing the waters. This is a test run. We're gonna keep it as not as traditional or structured as I would have it once we get this thing going. So for this episode, we're just gonna be talking about our favorite 10 things of the past decade. You know, give you something special to listen to on New Year's Eve when you're counting down to midnight, new year, new decade, new possibilities, all that good. And I guess, you know, since I'm from the South, I'm gonna be a Southern gentleman, and we're gonna start this off with Michelle's list. So what do you have for you first? You don't have to go in any type of particular order.
I didn't because like I told you, between work
Yes.
and my little note whatever thing on my iPhone, I just voice to text.
Word.
And so the thing I have to be thankful for is James Wan.
James Wan. Okay.
Yes.
And why is that?
Well, not only did he bring me the Insidious universe, the Conjuring universe in the
Word.
last decade, he brought my Aquaman
Yo,
to
Aquaman.
the big screen.
My man.
Don't get me wrong. Was I a hater in the beginning? Yes,
Of course
because
you were.
he was not the Arthur Curry that I envisioned.
So would you rather have like a Brad Pittish, Chris Hemsworth type looking Aquaman?
You know what?
Or did
I'm
Momoa grow on
horrible.
you?
This is why I'm not a caster and I don't make fucking films.
Word.
Because I can't picture what I want.
Exactly, and it's weird too. Like they teach us not to stereotype or not to judge people by the way they look, but then you look. You say you get paid to judge people to look a certain way.
Yeah. So there was a huge hesitation on how he presented him to the films, and for me, when James Bond brought him to the film, I was hesitant.
Word.
Even when he got great reviews and everything, I was still,
So you didn't see it in the theater?
No.
You didn't?
And you know I'm an Aquaman
And you a
fan.
theater... Oh, girl.
You was an Aquaman fan.
Yeah, but Aquaman that I grew up with, and then come down to what people viewed
giving us-
Aquaman should be.
Yes.
And I'm like, you guys can't hate on Aquaman for all these years and then be like all glorifying him because he's some fucking Jason Momoa Samoa
Oh, they
guy.
can. Talk to the Golden State Warriors about that. Them boys were trash to the Splash Brothers, Draymond and them, and start getting
I'm
rings.
not
Now
here for
everybody.
house mom's fantasies.
Exactly.
I
Boy.
just want you to be able to portray
But
Arthur
are you gonna
Curry.
say? But are you gonna say you don't share the same fantasies as those milfs?
No.
You don't? Oh,
No.
so Momoa doesn't do it for you.
No.
I mean, you guys know that.
And he
for
did
the-
as Khal Drogo, but not as Aquaman.
I mean, you guys know for the longest time, Aquaman was the joke of the DC universe, right?
Yeah, so that was my main thing too.
And he always used to message me like, "What did you think about this Aquaman?"
Because I knew I want to hear your point of view, because as soon as I saw Justice League, I was like, oh, he's gonna steal the show. That's the guy I'm looking for.
I have to say this: I'm glad that they didn't have him speaking to animals in their tone
Fish.
like they did in like the '80s comics. Yeah.
He more have guided the fish. Well, they didn't.
Well, now it's more telepathic, and I'm
Yes.
like, I'm okay with that
Evolution.
because the modern society would be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Like, you
Exactly.
can't make chirp chirp noises in the sea
Well,
and it'd be
technically, it
okay.
would make more sense like. It'd be like more like the dolphins in their echolocation.
Is that a chirp?
Yeah, because dolphins like
Yeah.
underwater bats
Alright.
without the wings.
Yeah.
I guess underwater bats
Yeah,
would be
but
mantas.
dolphins are
Black
rapists.
manta, and he's already back, so that'll work too. But no, like just like Black Panther and but just like Black Panther in the Civil War movie, I'm like that brother is gonna steal the show. His movie is gonna be the bomb. I saw Aquaman, like that movie's gonna be fun.
And you guys know Black Panther was the joke of the Marvel universe in
Yep.
the 90s, right?
Yep.
And he was not. That was just Daniel.
I
Day-Lewis.
can't pull it off right now, but you know there was a different title that Jack Kirby had for
Yeah,
him.
it was like the
yeah.
Cold Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my comics. You
Yeah.
want to be the Cold Tiger. So if you were to read the A Nets comic books, what happened in the M2 universe back in the late 90s, the Cold Tiger was represented with J2, and it was like the homage to Jack Kirby's idea for his
I need
original
people to
pitch.
quit hating on Aquaman though. Back in
Yeah.
the day. I mean, do you talk to animals?
Yes, but they never talk to me back.
Exactly.
That's why I'm like smoking
Yeah.
weed and being around babies or animals, because I think I can read their minds, and they definitely don't understand.
you might be
mine.
able to. They just don't want you to know.
Oh, babies don't want you to know a lot of things.
True,
Other-
because look at
Well, yeah,
look who's
'cause they spend
talking.
a lot of
They
time
gave us
pooping
2
themselves.
movies of it.
Word. I'm surprised they haven't given us a new Look Who's Talking with
I'm
Kevin Hart as
actually
one
am
of the Black
surprised
babies.
that they have not gave us a Look Who's
But
Talking
back to why
reboot.
I love Jeff John. Or I mean,
James
James
Wan.
Wan.
And that Jim Beam.
yes.
Heyo.
Yeah. James Wan brought Conjuring series.
Okay.
We went through years of a lack of great supernatural films.
It was only a few years after the Saw.
Yeah, because I'll let
franchise
Roscoe
movie.
speak more about that too.
That Saw. I love my gore. Don't get me wrong. I love gore,
that's-
but there's sometimes I like that supernatural. The
As a
ghost.
supernatural horror, yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a long
and
minute
other
since we
than
had that.
Rosemary's Baby, which everybody knows, I love to death.
Now we do.
Yeah.
Did you see the remake?
Yeah,
Was that with Zoe?
Not a fan.
Not Zoe Deschanel, but Zoe
There's
Saldana.
too much buildup. You don't need.
Was she in that one?
Yeah, you don't need a whole series to know that you got raped by the demon and then had their baby.
Oh.
Oh, was the whole
Word.
series on the remake? Oh,
Oh,
I don't even.
No, she didn't give. She black. She didn't give it up to the devil.
I just want to watch the movie. I ain't want to watch all the
Word.
TV series.
For sure. So what's next on your list? What's your
There are
number
too many
2?
on them.
you know when we're talking about James Bond.
No, we have other things to get to.
K-pop influence.
Ooh.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, the K-pop influence.
Yeah.
has
Go ahead.
went
To
through
your
it.
audience, I am half Hungarian, half Korean.
Is that
And
Hungarian? So kimchi's always on your plate. Because she's hungry and it's I didn't say the jokes are going to be good,
Alright,
people,
alright.
but you don't get them.
and Korean. And to be honest, for me, for the K-pop experience,
Uh-huh.
I even shared with you
Yeah, you
some
did.
bands to
I
check out.
haven't gotten to them yet, but they're all on my Spotify and title list.
So for the audience who doesn't know, I told Kelsey to look into Soteji. And Soteji, no matter what you explore in the K-pop universe, Soteji was a rap pop band that kind of brought in hip-hop to Korean universe.
So were they the Korean B2K?
Kind of, yeah. I guess I would say so, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
K.
that's a great
Morion. That's what's up.
that's a great description. And so to now where you see K-pop at, because the K-pop I grew up with was HOT, Young Turks Club, and now you have like BTS. and
BTS.
Blackpink.
Blackpink, oh my girl.
But you know what's
Let's kill
disappointing?
this love.
And it's not necessarily disappointing. I am so glad that there's that exposure with Korean culture, because now, honey, you're going to put that drama on my Netflix.
Oh
And
my gosh, and y'all got so many great shows.
yeah, my K-dramas, honey, don't
I
fuck
love
with it.
K-dramas.
K-dramas? That's
Yeah,
the thing too,
K-dramas
interesting.
is
And
so
I'm
great.
also glad that K-pop has become slowly more pop in America, because it also shows us like not all Asian cultures are the same, just like how all black culture isn't the same, how Latino culture is not the same. There's different shades of brown, black, and I'm not gonna say yellow, but fuck it. There I came out. So yeah,
No,
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because with what you're saying with that, I love everything that's coming out, so it's more exposure for me, so I have easier access to what I grew up with. But what's kind of sad is, I don't know if you guys watched the most recent Vice investigations.
Nope.
No.
You guys should watch it. It's Vice investigations for K-pop culture, and
And they go
it's
deep into the whole
yeah,
workplace
and they
culture.
kind of break down our entire genre and how
People don't know
toxic
about
it
the
is.
Secret
No,
Service and
yeah.
how the work machine of K-pop is.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, it's like that.
Oh, bro,
yeah,
they catch you.
It's a
It's
very
like Witcher. They catch you when you young.
Young
and train,
and
they train you. They train
put
you
you on them
until you
training camp?
until you ready, and then put you out.
Kind of like with NSYNC and
That-
Backstreet
but-
Boys in Orlando.
Yeah.
for America. It's like, oh my
Disney.
god, how can you do that to an entire
Yeah.
genre?
Yeah.
And for us in Korea, it's
That's
honey. I grew up with this in the '90s,
Well,
and
though. Yeah.
we knew that. And
I
you're
found out
not
that
a
early
perfect angel. We get you're manufactured.
Don't call me Angel.
Yeah.
But what's so great is that due to the fact that that K-pop's so manufactured, like it's perfectly good. Like there's not like
It's sad that Korean culture. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Americans are a little too emotional with that, but I'm not that emotional
Oh,
with
you're
it.
saying Americans are too emotional with certain things.
A lot
but
of cultures
Michael
are very
Vick didn't
emotional.
kill not one dog, but they still want to
Oh,
protest.
animals are different. Animals are
Oh, because they're better than us.
they can't
Yeah.
talk to us, so we don't know
It's
what they
just-
say.
I'm not
It's
saying.
just-
I know a lot of Asian
K-
cultures don't give a fuck about them animals
different.
like
It's
we
just cultures. When I was younger in K-pop, when I was younger,
do. Uh-huh.
it's not like we didn't know what was going on to be that perfect group.
Oh.
It's not like we didn't know.
So it's kind of like how everybody knew Bill Cosby was nasty, but we just kind of let it
Thank
slide.
you. That's a
Yeah.
better,
'Cause he was
a
American
better
Dad.
example. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
word.
yes.
I did not know like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what
Yeah.
about number 3 for the decade for you?
I just snorted.
No, it's fine. He snorts all the time. Not cocaine, just normal.
Game of Thrones.
All the way until
Coming
last season.
to the big screen.
Whoa, coming to the big screen. What you mean?
And
You mean from the book to the TV series?
Yeah.
So were you into the book first?
Yes.
Oh, you a geek.
Kelsey, you know
Yeah, I went to
me.
Michelle.
No,
to
I
get
know
my-
you, but now I get to know you more.
And I have to say, that first season.
Oh, can you refrain from?
sorry.
I forgot we
Oh,
didn't
sorry.
give you those
Sorry.
guidelines. No, you
That
can touch the
first
table.
season?
Yes.
To the first book was the closest from book adaptation to a show.
That's why you want to get it on with Drago, but not Aquaman, because you're more fascinated by him through the books versus
and also you can't
already
you
have your
can't
ideas
just go around fucking up my Arthur Curry.
Arthur Curry. Oh, the AC likes to keep it cool. All
Also,
right, or get it hot.
R.I.P.
All right.
to my beta fish that just died. Like,
What's his name? Arthur Curry.
yes,
Of course he was, because if I had to throw his name be Raphael, I get it, girl. It's all good.
yeah,
Word.
he died.
Just
Turns
don't-
out you can't
just
put
don't-
a live conch shell into a.
What you mean a live conch shell? Like a shell with an actual parasite inside, or just a shell with?
No, it was
certain-
just like you're supposed to buy fake ones,
Okay.
fake shells, to put into fish bowls.
Word, I did
And
not know
I
that.
was like, "Oh, this conch shell was
Oh, I
given
found
to
it
me
at
from
the
a
ocean.
friend."
Yeah, she
Yeah,
came from
that my
Hawaii.
friend gave me, and I put it in there, and he got a horrible infection and died. So, R.I.P.
Damn.
Arthur Curry.
Just don't name your turtles Barry Allen, because that will make you a dick.
Yeah. But what were we?
No, we were talking about Game of Thrones. That was your number 3.
Yeah.
And I just got into Game of Thrones maybe 2 years ago because Ross watches it and like boy Joe, Dave, everybody else was watching Thrones. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go ahead and get into Thrones. So I watched season 1 to 6 in 3 weeks, and I loved it. I used to call it BT, Before Thrones, and Life After Thrones, because I got all the references. Everything was totally different once I started fucking with it. And Game of Thrones easily became one of my favorite series of all time. Maybe not top, definitely not top 10, but definitely maybe top 20, maybe top 30. I loved it from the beginning up until the last season. But that's a whole
last season.
That's a whole
was
nother
such
podcast.
That's a whole.
And you know what? George R. R. Martin, no.
He's never gonna finish it. He's getting too much pussy now to finish these books that he could have finished
Whoa!
30 years ago.
Whoa! I don't think that's the issue.
Yeah, it is.
HBO wanted to
No,
finish
it's
the
not.
series.
No.
HBO wanted to finish the series before anything, and I'm
But-
sorry, you want to rush perfection.
You can't rush perfection when he had 30 years to
Whoa!
tie it up. Dragon Ball Super.
Are you writing a book?
Yes, I am.
Actually, he
When
is.
did you start?
About 5 years ago.
Okay, are you done?
No,
Okay, so fuck off.
but I don't have millions of dollars, a million people to write the words. that I
He
tell him
didn't
to
either
write.
in that
He
first
does-
book.
He does now.
And he didn't in that first book.
And guess what's the difference between
You
that and
can't
millions?
speed up perfection.
Yeah, you can, because he's not going to do it. Trust me. When that vagina starts flowing in, your priorities go out the window.
No,
When them 12,000
no.
pages
When it
drop,
comes
though.
when it comes to a writer, it
Yes.
is very different than
It's
trying
a beautiful
to.
debate.
I would rather him say, I'm never going to finish it, to be like, no, it's coming. No, it's not, bro. You is.
He ain't
George
saying it's
R. R.
coming.
Martin
He's
is
saying
known
he's
for
writing.
taking years for
Yeah.
finishing one book.
I mean,
Years versus decades. It's been 30 plus.
I'm sorry.
Since the first
Did you,
book, though.
Yeah, he wrote his
And
first
you gotta
book in
re-
1996.
and
How you gotta hate on that man?
realize HBO.
Then
just-
I
Did
stand,
you write that descriptive of a book?
Then I stand, or let me reiterate, I sit corrected. I thought these books were created in the 80s.
Kelsey.
My bad.
My precious Kelsey.
It's not the kind of book you'd find in a King of Supers in the romance section.
Yeah.
Why would I find that in King Super Romance series?
I would say the
some
author,
not
but I
good
won't
books.
say it.
Wait. All right, so you tell me he wrote all 3 of those 4. How many books was there?
There's 5 right now.
He wrote 5 of those long ass books from 96 to when?
Hey,
Well, no. Hey, you.
Hey,
No.
did you-
No, wait. No.
did you down on J.K. Rowling when she was writing about your wizard boy?
Wait.
J.K. Rowling's been canceled because now she's a turf.
This is
Oh, you can say twat.
J.K. Rowling is a twat, but she's also a turf who taught us to be acceptive of everyone and then decided to say that transgender people have no place. Fuck J.K.
No,
Rowling.
that's not what she said. You have to read the entire.
Oh,
I didn't realize he wrote those books in 96 till forward. So that makes me wonder, like, all right, if you wrote all that material in that X amount of years, I'll put my foot back down on it. No, he's getting all the millions and he's getting all this vagina that he was not getting down. He's an old ass man. An old ass man like to do certain things: eat football and pork,
Eat football?
and sometimes while eating pork.
But George R.R.
That's
has
tough.
stated
That's
that
tough.
one of his biggest problems is that he's too much of a perfectionist, and
That's understandable too.
that's the reason why this book it's been taking so long to come out.
Word. All right, number 4 for you.
Oh, Bin Laden was killed in 2011.
Thank you, W. Was that W?
Yeah, that was GW.
Where and Obama got Saddam Hussein, correct? Or was that reverse?
Other way around.
Other way around? Oh, word. Well, thank you, Obama, for that.
Oh, so that the time that thank Obama meme actually could be used as not sarcastic. Thanks, Obama.
You did something. Word. You're number 5.
You want to know where I was at during that time?
What
Would you
were
like to tell us?
I was at New Orleans or Orleans. What's our restaurant down here?
Oh, Springs Orleans?
Springs Orleans.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good.
I heard it's overrated.
I was sitting here and I was drinking my martini.
Of course. Classy. Classy and sassy.
And all of a sudden, it was Bin Laden has been captured. He's dead. And I was like, all right. I was like,
one down. How many more to go?
Fuck yeah,
never know.
America.
Because we creating our enemies.
Yeah.
Word. What's your number 5?
My number 5 was Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, that beautiful little thing.
What's that look for?
Kelsey don't like Jennifer
No.
Lawrence.
What?
No.
She did Winterbone in 2010.
Wait. Can you say that again? She did what now?
Winterbone.
Winterbones.
Yeah, the one with the...
It's a film that a lot of people kind of just
Gloss over,
but they don't understand. Like, when she was Winterbones in that film,
I heard she
brought
had her ass off.
our glorious Jennifer
Lawrence
into
See, that's funny because I know about every other thing she's done except for Winterbone.
who?
My gripe with her is nothing to do with her because she's a fantastic actress. I loved her in almost everything she did. It's just the fact that after she blew up from Hunger Games, they fucking shoehorned Mystique in and just took that role in those movies and made it a hot ass mess. I'm not gonna blame her for why the X-Men movies with her character in it were bad, but that didn't help.
She's America's gem. Have you seen her in interviews?
Yeah, I like her. I like her. She was in that bullshit Red Sparrow, the quote-unquote Black Widow movie that was
She can't
weird.
help with the X-Men monstrosity.
Yeah, I'm saying, but...
How do they get X-Men so wrong every time?
Because nobody loves it.
What?
Like Feige loves the MCU. Because if Feige would have had his hands on the X-Men, it would have went completely different.
So different.
So with J-Law is what we call her. No, J-Law, not Jude Law. He was on in Captain Marvel, the bad guy.
Oh.
But J-Law, because short for Jennifer Lawrence. That was your number 5. What's your number 6, Michelle?
Man, so on the spot. 2011, Thor.
Which Thor? Or just Thor in general?
It came to the scene.
Oh, okay, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. It's not many white men that would like to
which
be.
also brought you the glorious Loki.
Oh, you're a Hiddleston. And fun fact, Tom Hiddleston went out for the role of Thor, but of course he did not get it.
Yep.
And thanks to Josh Whedon's involvement or directing of, what was it, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
That guy, Chris Hemsworth, the audition for Thor, and he became Thor. And that also helped Josh Whedon direct him in the Avengers movie. But like I was saying, there's not a lot of white men I would trade bodies with. But as one of the few white men I would, is Chris Hemsworth and Brad Pitt from Troy. And of course, the GOAT himself, HBK, Shawn Michaels, all day, every day, be a degenerate. And if you got a problem with that, I got 2 words for you.
Don't.
You know, a lot of people kind of don't realize how in a decade what role Thor played. But as soon as Thor became MCU,
Yes.
and then you get Thor, not only that, you get Loki. And my God, it blew up.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. And my God, it blew up.
Did Loki give you the Holy Spirit, or was that just a lie?
Oh, I think I got a lot of spirit.
You found a lot of mischief in his deeds?
Yes. Yeah.
Word.
And for those who didn't follow
sexual
Norse
innuendos.
mythology, you don't have to follow Norse mythology to become in love with Thor and Loki and that story.
Exactly.
It was just once you got into it,
Yeah, that's why I'm a Thor fan, because before Thor, I was just a fan of Greek mythology, just growing up.
Yep.
Because Greek mythology, just like the Bible, were the original comic books and manga of our time. So now we get them in different iterations, and watching like Xena and Hercules on TV.
Which Neil Gaiman brought into a huger light with American Gods.
And that's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Love that series. 6.
6 is going to have to be... Yeah, I'm that girl who has to keep looking at. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Ooh! Praise Satan and hail
a lot of people knew about Archie.
Judas.
A lot of people knew. And don't get me wrong, I have a ton of old Archie comics that I hold on to.
And do you currently watch Riverdale?
I tried.
You don't want to see the Archie apps? It's okay if you don't.
Yeah.
That's what made me hype for Sabrina, because it's like, they're going to connect this to the Archieverse, and I fucks with me some Riverdale. Shout out to Veronica Lodge and low-key, my favorite girl twin pop duo are the Veronicas, hailing from Australia, and their dad, they took the name because Veronica was their dad's favorite Archie character. But what were you saying, Ross?
But part of my reason of why I fell in love with this whole Sabrina is
the whole Hail Satan? Hail Satan.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan and all that is, like, outside the fact that it was written, like, the creator of the comic book does the TV show. He also does the TV show for the CW Riverdale, which basically gave him the plateau of just like, I want to just give out my whole Archie universe in the television. He put it out there. CW picked it up. A lot of people didn't even think that his universe of Archie was tolerable because it wasn't of Archie of what most people grew up, because he made Archie more modern. And now look at Archie.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things too. I was talking about a customer today in Escape Velocity. That's where I also work now. They came in talking about Sabrina. They picked up a book and I started talking to her about that, and just the fact that like a lot of people thought it was gonna be a Melissa Joan Hart reboot of the happy-go-lucky, bright and sunny shit. But nah, it's the chilling adventures. That shit's dark, spooky, satanic. Once I got over that, like I'm not the most religious, but certain things you get, you get.
She's got a huge fan base.
Yeah, you get taught not to like it, not to be okay with. And when it comes to the whole praise Satan, we don't worship Lucifer shit, it's like, I don't know if I should be watching. It makes you feel a certain way, even though you might not believe like that. You might not pick up a Bible, but certain parts of you like, that's the bad guy. Should I really be watching the show when they like do this and the third? But once you get past that, because it's just a story here and there, and once you get past that, it's a very good story. If you're into like Riverdale, more like teenage dramas and the dark and supernatural things of that, it's a good tale, and I definitely will agree with you. That's one of the better highlights of things I didn't think was gonna be that big to me in this last decade.
But it's amazing that I haven't seen that much pushback with Sabrina, and maybe it's I just haven't noticed it. But you've seen religious parties push back on Harry Potter and Golden Compass, which is his
crazy.
dark material just came out, which I haven't seen yet.
I heard it's great. It's on my bench list.
But a lot of people in society are so against certain films, and I'm like, well, can you really be that way?
Yeah, and only thing you have to do is not watch it.
Well,
because they enjoy it.
Yeah,
there is one religion that pushed back on it, and it is the Church of Satanism. But it's just because of them.
It was actually a different church.
But it's just because of them taking over like copyrights.
Yeah.
But past that, it's just like.
And the funny thing about that Church of
Satan,
Satan,
not hearing Christians get mad about
their
this
Baphomet was actually a very different version of what was being pushed.
Yeah, and it's just kind of weird that I'm like, I did not hear one Christian say we can't mess with this Sabrina,
because they knew they don't want to mess with it. And one thing too was funny about that Church of Satan, they sued Sabrina because they created their Church of Satan just to troll religion and the government. Like, we don't start our own religion about Satan, so we get all these tax breaks. So they did, and then their symbol or statue for Satan was used more or less in Sabrina, so they sued them for copyright infringement. So with that, Sabrina being your 6th, what is your 7th?
It's coming into newer times. which is the closer to what they end, which is Witcher.
Woo. Yo, all right. I'm gonna be honest with God. I'm gonna say this truthfully, because when we went this Batman Man of Steel, it was me, Ross, Leslie, somebody else, and when that nigga Henry Cavill came out that water, only thing you hear is woo, ooh, from all the ladies, and I was just looked at my homegirl, was like, I get it. Like, that dude came in that water jet. I was like, damn,
You know
bro.
what is disappointing is that I talked to a lot of fans, and they were like, "Oh, well, I have to get past the fact that they're copying Game of Thrones," and I was like, "They're not. These books have been out before, and the video game came. So the books were there.
It's like saying Harry Potter is copying Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Like,
People are literally comparing The Witcher
Yes.
to Game of Thrones.
Yes.
of course, because people
Hold
don't,
up.
because people don't understand. Like, there's more things in the genre. That's like,
I am so now. I
You're
can't wait till
now
I
in the
run to
universe
first
where
person.
this is what people associated with their fantasies."
I can't wait
And
till somebody
and then
tells me that
you
this
bring
is
out a
But they don't say-
show like Witcher, and they're like, "Oh,
it's just a
copy."
copy of
And
something that was
and a
already
friend of mine
popular.
even said that and was like,
but did they say that Game of Thrones was copying Lord of
they
the
were
Rings?
like, "Oh, the sigils and everything," and I was like, "Oh, but you rewind. This was out before Game of Thrones, and the books were, and then the video game came out.
That's when you
and
gotta
don't get me
learn.
wrong, I didn't do the video games,
Right.
but you have the books. Then, yeah, I get the video games,
If you play
and
if
then
you read
now
the, books and then
the
play
show,
video games,
but
you'll get it.
it's not Game of Thrones. I
It's
mean,
nowhere close to Game of Thrones.
no, it's not at all.
Like
There's no
literally,
incest, first and foremost.
there's name one person in Game of Thrones that was mutated.
And everybody in The Witcher has their dicks.
That
They do.
Except the bard that he tried to save was a eunuch, but
Wait, are you talking about
but that was just a
Yennefer?
story.
no, the bard, the white dude,
Which white dude?
the dude that said that you was like that we talked about that he can't from the
They were at
flashback
the
that
party.
came back at the party when he was like, wait, they met
He
already.
was kicked in the balls by
Wait,
a
are
donkey.
you talking about the musical nigga?
I can't
that's
Whoa,
that
whoa.
part. Yeah, that nigga
The
got-
musical dude ain't got balls?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder he hitting them high notes.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
my favorite dude, too.
And here's an even more fun thing too about people that's out here doing the comparison. One of the great things about The Witcher that makes me love The Witcher more is while playing the video game, there's side quests that will put you in the like actual lore of like the fairy tale. I mean the Tooth Fairy, the lore, like all other type of English
I
lore,
feel
of
like
fairy tales
there's
and
a
shit.
less of a
which I personally
forgiveness
love.
when it comes from a video game to this, because if you ask people, they think this came purely from a video game.
Because they're unlearned. You have to teach them.
They didn't know it came from
Yeah.
a book to a video game to
Yeah,
this.
for me, I had to.
Watch
I
your
found
fingers.
out my fault. Me, I had to
But you
find
still
out
doing
that
it.
it was. I know. I
No,
bad
you
I have bad
no,
habits,
I
I
know,
know,
but I'm
It
looking
would be
at you
different.
right
It
now.
was Dante's
But yeah,
Inferno,
it is-
which we knew was a video game to a film,
But
right?
also a book before that.
Was Dante's Inferno?
Yeah, Dante's Inferno
Yeah.
was a book before
Yeah.
the game. Like that, I found out which
Well,
one.
I know the poetry version.
That's what it's based
Yeah.
off of.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I meant the comic book character that came through it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I own that. It's on my coffee table.
I was really, really sad for a second.
No. But I meant like comic version.
Word.
Because to be
Dude.
honest, the only good thing that the video game, especially the third one, which most people played, like the one thing that people will know about the third one is like how everybody ends up to be, because it's the third one's actually around the next current Wild Hunt, which they allude to in the beginning of this one. But like, I would have never, regardless if I never even played the Witcher game, I would have never put 2 to 2 together just because of some sigils.
Word. That's
That's just
that's just asinine.
that's
That's just Game of Thrones fans being mad that final season was blood.
Thank you. Yeah.
But first off,
Mud, messy butt.
Garrett pushes the first episode. You get a force push. So how the fuck can that still be the same as Game of Thrones?
Word.
As you say, like it's hard to understand how fans go from one view to another.
True
But
that.
like I said with Dante's Inferno, yes, was it a story? Oh, believe me, I have the original text in a book form on my coffee table. But the other thing is, then it was into a comic, or it was into a video game.
Yeah.
Which is very different version of it, but you get the concept of it, and then all of a sudden it's
the biggest thing out there.
It's an anime show or anime movie, and you.
Are you referring to Berserker? Because Berserker is an adaptation of Dante's Inferno.
No, there was a Dante's Inferno.
There was one too, correct too. Yeah, just like that one with As Is Above Is Below.
As Below as Below
was an adaptation of Dante's Inferno
yeah.
as well.
But you can
Good
make
movie,
Dante's Inferno into a million.
Of course,
films.
I'm waiting for the space
but
edition.
for that,
Yes.
it was different.
Yeah. What's your number 8?
Other thing was Stranger Things over the last decade. Not only did Stranger Things bring this,
Hey, Ghostbusters.
it made you love this show with these children that are, fighting the Demogorgon and everything, and it's amazing, but it also brought back that 80s retro love.
In all the right ways. That
Yes.
intro alone.
Yes.
Woo!
Like-
it made me feel like I was watching Freddy Krueger again.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
can listen to
sound.
80s soundtrack now, which I do,
Word.
and it's just it brings you back.
Do you have a favorite character?
I would say 11, but the guy who just played the villain. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now.
Bad Boy Billy?
Yes, I love him.
Dirks Montgomery, because he played Jason the Red Ranger in the latest iteration of the Power Rangers movie. That's my guy. That's who I want to play Johnny
I love
Storm
him.
in the Fantastic Four
I
movies.
absolutely adore him.
Yes, he is awesome. He played that role. I was so mad that
Yeah.
he died. They was making him racist. I was waiting for him to say nigga. He didn't say nigga, but he got close enough that I knew
How was
what's
he
in his heart.
racist?
He literally told his sister, Mad Max, like, him
like
being Lucas, you need to stay around him and his kind.
Yeah, if you
'cause
go
they
back
ain't
to
to be
season
trusted.
2.
They planted all
He
the
doesn't
seeds
say-
going to be mad
He doesn't
racist.
say that he's.
I'm
He
not
doesn't
gonna
say
read
that
too
he
deep
hates
into
black
the
people.
line.
Ain't nothing to read about that shit. You can have Braille, girl.
The thing
It's right
is, he
here.
doesn't say it. He doesn't say don't go hanging around that nigga or anything like that. But he basically implies it by only saying that he only specifically points out. Oh,
He don't
dude,
say don't hang out with these boys or these kids. No, that he literally says that one, that
yeah.
boy.
in undertone as a black man.
We know what that code for. And
Yeah.
Stranger Things didn't want to jump that line,
They wanted to give a
but they'll have his daddy call him gay and shit like that.
Yeah,
But they ain't gonna have them jump that line saying certain words when he still could have said something else. But nah, Billy Badass. I knew he was hardcore when he was a white boy with all that sauce in the court in the 80s, just doing all them and one moves in the high school. I'm like, yo, what is he doing with his shirt off? Then he came out the water like, yeah, so Steve, you was cool kid. I'm here now. Fucking all the moms. Ah.
Yep.
Look at it. I'm like, damn, Billy, go ahead, boy. Do that thing. Almost ran him over in the street and shit.
I still don't know how I just grasped that with racism, but
Well,
because it's just
No,
that there was one scene in the
No, a couple of scenes.
But there was one specific scene where he told his sister, "Don't mess with that boy," and he was talking about black
he
dude.
probably
Yeah.
said don't mess with anybody, but
No, he
No,
didn't.
he said that boy. He said
Anybody
that boy.
that looked like
Me and
black boy.
Me and Kelsey had to rewind twice to double check the captions.
I've been told that a lot,
Yeah.
so I gets that. So what's your number 9?
number,
Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
It's itching.
All right.
Say
No,
it.
I was gonna say the MVP of Stranger Things was little Miss Erica, the darling of America, because she came back in that season 3 and got shit popping, and she let all those nerds know how to get down and how they needed to figure out that shit. And I want all my free scoops, girl. Scoops Ahoy all day for your girl. But now go ahead.
I suddenly
Michelle,
went
for
into
your 9.
Baskin Robbins.
Word. Baskin Robbins always knows. Oh yeah, they do.
They do.
They always
They
find
do.
out.
Oh, honey, I eat ice cream every night. My other one is for comic books. I know we talked about how Aquaman came into, and everybody was purely apologetic of how they viewed my Aquaman.
Well, that's fine.
But Miles Morales,
Ooh.
Ultimate Spider-Man. And I have to say this because a lot of people are like, damn, are you hating on Peter Parker? And I was like, absolutely not.
No. You
No.
love both.
Peter Parker is the one I grew up with and I love and adore.
That would make Miles Miles.
But Miles Morales was more of the fuck you. Like, this is me. I didn't even expect this. My uncle wanted to bring in some fucking random shit. I got bit.
I don't even know what these two fingers do, but people tell me I
Yeah.
need to find out.
Then all of a sudden he's Spider-Man. I love it. He was my favorite Spider-Man.
Oh shit, you did that thing with that one.
He was my favorite Spider-Man. And you know that. I've told you numerous
Exactly, and
times.
Spider-Verse is my favorite
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Movie, TV show, anything. Into the Spider-Verse is a modern day classic. And I can't watch that movie without crying. The soundtrack is phenomenal too. It go right.
Oh, we're
ahead.
going into the film version, yes.
Well, that's part of Miles'
Yeah,
character
yep,
because
yep.
I've been collecting. Oh, that's the only reason I started buying the Ultimate Universe comic was because Miles got introduced. So about everything from then.
Oh, wait,
up
did
to
you read
now.
it before you watched it?
Of course, like
Okay,
I had to
okay,
buy the comic books first.
Yeah.
But no, Miles, my guy, told everybody
Yeah.
like. Just in case you didn't know, I'm Peter Parker, but darker, so I guess that makes me Miles more or less streets ahead of the rest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal rendition of, getting away from Peter Parker into...
It doesn't matter who's underneath the mask unless you have the heart of the hero. And that's what Miles represents to all of us. 9.
I didn't get that far.
You didn't?
Word.
Hey, don't feel too
I will
bad.
take some recommendations, though.
If it's like that.
How were you with Disney Channel movies?
Are we talking about Disney Plus? Oh, God.
Fine. Number 9.
Hey, go ahead.
Disney Plus.
It was... I literally canceled out my Hulu account and then reapplied so I could get
the
Disney Plus.
and all that.
And I watched Aristocrat Cats.
Oh, great anime.
Everybody.
We don't have the
Do you
money
want to
for
know
that.
why? I am. Yes. Am I that weirdo cat lady? Yeah, apparently I am. Like,
You should be.
I let my cats watch it with me, and they were just enthused.
Enthralled?
Yeah.
Word. I'm surprised they don't let people take their cats to the movie theaters too, but I think they do. in some
But I
places.
mainly got it because Mandalorian was coming out.
True, and plus,
Yeah.
WandaVision in the future, and
Yeah.
that low-key shit going on.
I know, but it was like 2021. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, just stab me in the heart. But, they better deliver with WandaVision. And so I got the comic books. I got the 4 with Vision and Wanda.
I know I know the Vision had the comic book when he was living
Yeah.
in suburbia.
I got him. I got
Oh, those were the ones. Okay.
Yeah, it was 4 comic books that I got for like $10 at the convention at Sheraton. Or not Sheraton, but it was up north by that old TGIF.
Word.
And I was like,
Oh
okay.
shit, they used to be.
Okay. And so I purchased that, and then I purchased Gargoyles. And I was told Gargoyles is going to be remade for Disney Plus.
That's it's a
rumor.
rumor. It's not
not-
confirmed.
it's not
neither here nor there.
100%.
It's confirmed.
It's a
Well,
theory that
I
they
guess
might
I will
reboot us.
just reminisce in the
We're holding
old-
on. I got my fingers crossed.
Word. And to wrap that up, what is your 10 DS?
DS.
DS. Or is it DS? No, it's DS, right? 10 in Spanish? Des?
Yes.
DS. Yeah, I said it right the first time. Or your Ty Dillinger.
Oh, of this year?
Well, sure.
See, I can't even. I don't
The
even
life
know
of
what my
podcast
10th is
because I could-
because I'm like thinking into the new year,
Do
so I can't.
you have a favorite anime that came out this year? Song? TV series that debuted?
Bands
TV
coming back from
series?
Yeah.
Well, Miss Maisel, Marvelous Miss Maisel.
How is that?
Oh my God, have you not seen it?
No.
No,
we
I've
have
been
not.
pondering about it.
Ugh. A Jewish lady who just got divorced by her shitbag spouse, and then becomes a stand-up comedian.
Oh, Lady Joker.
Oh my gosh. You gotta watch it.
Word. Is she funny though?
Oh, she is.
Word.
Yeah. You gotta take into a Jewish lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was just left by her spouse.
Mm-hmm.
She's a stand-up comedian.
She has a chutzpah.
Oh, honey, she's about to put you on the stand to be burned as her spouse.
God damn it.
Wait, burn
Just to be
metaphorically
honest,
or vaginally?
Comedically.
It kind of sounds like that HBO show that they have where some dude who ends up getting divorced and he ends up living in New York and he has to live with his crash. Yeah.
Wait, that's not about Thomas Jane when he was.
No, it's in the 50s. 50s, 60s.
Miss Maisel's
Well, I know Miss Maisel, but I'm just make sure I ain't
50s,
talking about
60s,
the Jiggle
and this is the era, and I gotta say, not only do I love the show and her, but I want every outfit she wears.
Word, and that's a perfect place to put a pin on that donkey. And speaking of putting a pin into things, I'm gonna let this Eeyore ass nigga Ross go ahead and get into his top 10 since I guess I'm gonna be the ticker nigga in the scenario. So go ahead, Ross. Start us off with your number 10. Not in any particular order.
Not in any particular order, but I'm gonna say, over the last decade, I've gotten a way more growth into the wrestling culture as well as the growth in the wrestling culture.
Oh, I did take that off.
As in,
oh shit,
I don't just only watch WWE. I watch ROH. I watch more independent as well as global wrestling. So I've gotten more of a taste of like more bigger name people. So like when AEW came, I already knew of the Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, the Adam Page, the Marty Scurlls, the Darby Allins, the Michael Nakazawa's, the Shinsuke Nakamura's, like everybody that's been a big name that's either in WWE or not are big in another company is because of this whole growth of wrestling that I have to give them props to. My number 9 I'm gonna have to give big props to is the growth of esports. Yes, esports. The sports that now has become official.
How official?
It's became so official that you could get a college scholarship by just playing League of Legends. League of Legends is a mobile battle arena game. That's not a real sport, but guess what? It is now.
Just like golf's not a real sport, but yeah.
But golf's more of a sport than...
Like, you physically have to be up there walking and stroking that shit.
Only thing I will give video games, esports props about being a real sport is hand-eye coordination because of the reflexes, which can be tell. But past that...
Exactly. That's what kind of make table tennis, ping pong sport, too, is hand-eye coordination. But it's still... And it's all about the wrist, too, so they go back and forth with that, too. True that. I guess when you break it down, there's always ways to define it.
Sports.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3... At least either once a month, maybe twice, maybe once every 2 months, I have to go back and listen to one of the greatest soundtrack albums of all time, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yo, that clash with Demon Head?
Clash at Demon Head.
We are Natalie's group.
We are Sex Bob, Ramona. Like the 8-bit,
that was a good one.
8-bit, the 8-bit songs, everything about just Scott Pilgrim's album was just.
That's one of the few things I actually love Brie Larson in. Whatever song she sung in her group, that shit's on my playlist. I love that song. That shit's a bop with Superman being her bass. So that's 3. What's 4?
An easy common one. The impact of how the growth impact of how comics have came into the mainstream. Word. With i.e. the MCU, DCU, DC Plus. Disney Plus, DC Universe, all these streaming apps, and how easy and more accessible and comics are, as well as how much more known people are talking about.
No, you can't get past Mulan.
Whoa. We're talking about this decade, girl, not back in time.
Well, I will say, though.
Make a man out of you is,
That's a whole nother podcast, fellas.
Yes.
True that.
Soundtracks to our lives coming very soon.
Okay. Yes.
Is it a karaoke one? I'll get down to this.
No. You'll get down to business? Yeah.
All right.
So was that your 3rd?
That's my 4th. My 5th, I'm going to have to give it to, the growth and birth of friendships. the ones that grown throughout the times, as well as the ones that are born.
Oh,
Okay.
my list seems so superficial now.
No. He had to do
Girl,
something
I
different.
had to think outside the box because I
Okay.
wasn't thinking that well.
Alright.
Okay,
Yeah,
Taco
alright.
Bell. Think outside the box as much as you
baby.
want.
I love a
Or-
chalupa.
I'm best served at midnight.
Or you could tell him, "Lick me, girl, like a stamp, cause I'm always outside the box." Hey, hey.
We're gonna pass on that. I'm gonna go with my number 6, which happens to be one of my favorite TV series of this decade, which happens to be Screen Queens.
Ooh.
I didn't
You've
watch
never
it.
gave Screen Queens a chance?
You
I'm
gotta
being
give it a
honest. If you love American Horror Story,
And 90s horror movies and horror comedies.
literally, to be honest,
It's all a spoof. It's one big
Okay.
spoof.
if it wasn't for the fact that Ryan Murphy was a diehard, God damn it. Her name
Person?
Slipped. No, slipped.
Alright.
Her name slipped out my
Which
name.
one?
Jamie. If he wasn't a
Jamie Lee
diehard
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis fan,
That's why she popped up.
he
on the
wrote.
series as
He
well.
literally wrote Screen Queens just so he could work with her, and he told her, "If you don't like this show will never see the light of day." As
God,
well
why
as
can't any employer say that about me?
another fun fact, Screen Queens was only made because he really wanted American Horror Story
Okay.
to actually be on Fox, but Fox said this is too much for us, and that's why it ended up on FX.
Shout out to Chanel number 5, 6, and 7.
Yes.
Are those perfumes?
No,
they're
actually,
characters.
they're characters in the TV show Screen Queen.
Named after perfume.
Yeah, they're named after her.
Hey, girl, hey.
But yeah, it's just
Chanel Mademoiselle is all
yeah,
that matters.
it's. I'm being honest. If you want a good laugh on horror movies, you gotta give it a try.
Word.
And then after Screen Queens, I'm gonna have to go with Disney Channel original movies from I had to take this from 2009 to 2019, so that included High School Musical, Lemonade Mouth. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Yo.
Go ahead, Kelsey. Fun fact, guys. This era of Disney Channel movies are the reason Kelsey has just came into and started watching due to the Disney Plus app, and he has now loved them. Except for one Disney Channel movie that I had to have him watch called
that the
Lemonade
shootings?
Mouth.
So the first movies, the only Disney original channel movies that I watched on the DC. All right, I'll fuck that all up. So the only Disney Channel original movies that I watched on the Disney Plus app was High School Musical. I do still need to watch Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, which this dude Ross still has to watch also. But I watched Lemonade Mouth years ago, and Lemonade Mouth is basically like the Breakfast Club meets California Dreams, if you're familiar
Kelsey.
with the California Dreams TV series. And their song Somebody, I just listened to that today because it's part of my Up and Poppy playlist. Because no matter, somehow, someday, some way, somebody, you have to grow up and be somebody in your life. And I love that movie. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It's one of Disney Channel's best original movies. And your question was, Michelle?
I was trying to figure out. How old are you?
I am
Girl,
I am 34, but I'm 76 in black years.
Wait, you're older than me, and I don't know
Of course.
this shit. Disney movies that I remember are like, oh god, I think it was like Shooting Star or something. And she was in Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, don't tell me her name. Katie Housen. No.
Colson.
No.
Close, but
Katherine Heigler.
yes.
Katie Heison's the homegirl. What up, Clover? My bad.
Those are the Disney movies I remember. So
Yes.
I didn't even watch High School Musical.
Because- Go ahead.
High School Musical came out way after we graduated.
where we were in our
Alright,
20s.
alright.
High School Musical came out in 2009.
I was gonna say
It was
Catherine Heigl.
I'm gonna be honest. It was a bored day. Me and Kevin didn't have nothing else to watch. It was the debut episode. It was the
Is
day.
that when Kevin went to sleep?
No, me and Kev watched High School. Me and Kev watched both High School
was
Musical
a
1
joke.
and 2 day of, and loved it. And kept telling this nigga Kelsey that he
And
need
for
to
some
watch
reason,
High School
I just
Musical.
didn't. But I love Disney Channel.
And
I
for
watch
some reason, we
Disney
thought
Channel
we
to this
wasn't
day,
going to
depending
like
on
it.
certain things. Yeah. So what's after that? What's your-
After Disney Channel
What's your
movies is going to be CW's Arrow. I am an Oliver. I love me some Oliver Queen.
I will not fail this podcast.
I will have to say, if it wasn't for Stephen Amell, I would not.
I met him at Comic-Con. Am I
Love
the
it.
only
What?
one who just is not a fan of CW films or shows except Supernatural, which also has failed me in the last 2
Yeah.
I'm gonna
years?
be honest. You're not, and I'm to be truly honest. That's the only CW show I don't watch.
That
Supernatural?
And,
Yes.
and All American right now, and Jane
I
the
love
Virgin.
Supernatural, except the last 2 seasons. I'm like,
Did you-
I didn't need your old Jesus thing.
Word.
in it.
Did you watch the Scooby Doo crossover episode?
Yes, I did.
'Cause that was
yes,
awesome.
I did. I had to think about it for a minute. Yes, I did.
Because that was going to be the only episode I watched where, like, oh, these niggas crossing over
Yeah.
with Scooby Doo. I need
Yeah.
to see how this shit transpires. But I did not.
Oh, Supernatural's phenomenal.
I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying I don't watch it because it's bad.
Did they get too religious at some point?
Well,
of course.
Because you have the devil in it, so if you have the devil, you have to have God and all
I
that.
know. Everybody's like, oh, Lucifer. And I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
yeah, hail Satan.
Yeah, just like one of the
Hail
things.
Satan.
It's like one of the things too with like Sabrina, the teenage, oh not Sabrina, teenage witch, but the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That brought in the whole Lilith aspect, which I didn't know. Like Lucifer had a wife and all this shit.
Oh,
She
whoa. It's not Lucifer's wife. Do you not know?
No, I'm about to say, but it was Lucifer's shorty, but after
No, it was Adam's
Adam's-
first wife.
yeah, but Lucifer ended up hooking up with her, so isn't that Satan's wife? Satan took Adam's leftovers, basically.
If we want to get into
He reheated
if
that
we
pie,
want to get into Lilith,
and he ate it, but
Lilith,
but
if we want to get into it,
we
Lilith
don't.
is
We
That's
don't.
a whole nother
the
podcast.
But like I said, so Adam had it first. He said,
shall
"Nah, I
shut my
got
mouth."
this Eve chick." Lucifer got Lilith, but then I also watched Shadowhunters, which also brought in the aspect of Lilith and Lucifer and Cain and Abel. So I was getting a lot of things that I did not know just from not being more into that
Are you talking about Supernatural?
mythology. No.
There's this TV show on
called
Freeform called
Shadowhunters,
Shadowhunters.
okay.
based on a book that
Can
was
I
turned
say
to a
this real
movie.
quick before we
Of course
move
you
on?
can.
Lilith ain't got nothing to do with Lucifer.
Okay, well, I was just talking about Lilith and the incarnations that I'm familiar with. Words.
I mean, if she is in that realm, she was before Lucifer. She is the queen.
Okay,
And let's move on.
my number 2 would be my number 2 would be the rise.
Your
of-
number 2 or your number 10?
No, I have 2 more left. So
Word.
That would be like 9, 10.
what?
Okay.
No particular order, but
You got
it's gonna be the rise of anime into mainstream. I grew up knowing we all grew up knowing that anime was only rare and occasion but talked amongst a few of us. Nowadays, anime could just be, you like literally. I'm not wearing it today, but if I was wearing my Naruto headband, somebody'd be like, "Yo, is that Naruto?" And I could end up instantly sparking a conversation. I couldn't do that 10 years ago. I'd just be like, yo, this weird dude got a headband around, got some weird little scarf around his neck.
Word. Because in high school, only people that were anime were weird white kids and the weird niggas. And yeah.
And we all played Magic
yeah.
and D&D.
And if you weren't one of them two, you were a closeted anime fan. Like, yo, I watch this shit. But
I don't want everybody else in the world to know.
But even though we all went home and watched Toonami at night, Dragon Ball Z, G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon, Thundercats, Neo Genesis, Trigun, Battlestar,
And Niyasha.
fucking and Cowboy Bebop. So
Yep.
it's one of those things too now that anime was a thing that we all were into in our teens that some people chose not to share with
As
the world.
a guilty pleasure.
Yes, exactly. And then you fast forward now and everybody and their mom was like, anime this and anime that. And I remember being a Super Saiyan.
In 2019, what was your most treasured anime?
My most treasured anime right now? I might have to go with good old Mob Psycho 100.
Word. And for me, I would just go off the gates and just be basic and say Dragon Ball Super, more or less for the Broly movie, and just to see my boy Vegeta hit that Super Saiyan God Blue evolution and Tournament of Power, and just that battle between Jiren and Goku at the end was fan-fucking-tastic. And when that nigga Goku fucking swag surfed that Kamehameha blast on Kefla's fucking death beam and just hit that hole in the face with that shit, that was fucking fantastic.
I don't know if you both have watched. Have you watched Made in Abyss?
No, but I actually might have to make a correction on Mob Psycho. I might have to say my favorite 2019 anime that I watched might be My Girlfriend is a Gal. Just because it's a comedy slice of life about a boy getting his first girlfriend. that happened to be a popular chick, and he thought that she was always into certain things, only to know she's a good girl, conservative, and if he just would have got more than knowing her, he would have known that they like the same things and everything, and it really worked.
Word. So is that your 10 or you still got one?
My last one would be,
last but not least,
Kids See Ghosts.
Kids see ghosts sometimes. See it, kids see ghosts sometimes.
Maybe
Talk
my
about spirits.
Maybe my favorite album and probably rap group to drop in this last decade. Just cause Kid Cudi was Kid Cudi, and he's my Diana White.
Or is he your Jiraiya?
He's my Lord Jiraiya.
Word. Respect. That nigga signed a lot of kids, though.
He signed everybody. He signed
He's
this whole.
low-key the
He signed
cornerstone for a lot of these music.
He is, if any, and I know this is weird to say, but he is the Tupac of this current generation and beyond.
Word. All right, Ross, thank you for your top 10. Also, Michelle, of course, thank you for yours. So,
None needed.
last but certainly not least, here are my top 10 things I'm happy for, or love the most, or cherish the most, this, that, and the third for the last decade. Starting off, number one is definitely gonna be hip hop. Hip hop is always the foundation of who I am as an individual. Me being black, male. Hip hop is the third. The fourth would be something else I can't think of it right now off the top. No, I know the fourth is comic books and geek shit. So I always gotta represent for hip hop. I always stay in the culture. I try to listen to all the current people and the elder statesmen of this. And for as hip hop that affected me the most this last 10 years, I definitely have to start that shit off with Kanye West. He is my favorite rapper of all time. Yes, you heard that. My Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of his best albums. Love it. Life of Pablo was fantastic. Beautiful Morning. I'm not even gonna get to the whole song. It's dope. Like, people, like, I know Kanye's been on some fuck shit lately, but yeah, that is. But I'm just talking about the music right now. I won't judge him for what he thinks. You know, we're not perfect. That's his journey. I just don't have to support it because I'm not a kid anymore. I don't look to rappers to mold my mind. And my second favorite rapper of the last 10 years will have to go to the Six God himself, Drake. He dropped Take Care, which also gave me the anthem of Marvin Room, the most emo song there is. And if people know who you are, you know about the Smart Tech movement. Marvin's Room would definitely been a song that we listen to all the time. Like, that shit definitely got me through some things in life. Drake came in, he changed the game, he did things differently. He's still on top. Not too many rappers had a long ass run as he has. He makes the hits, he makes the tracks. Him, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Wayne took Cash Money, Young Money to a whole nother level. And yeah, man, I gotta shout out to Drake. So he was Jimmy from the block. He was in the wheelchair. Now he's still here. Man, he started from the bottom. Now he's on top. You heard?
Got shot in the back.
I didn't heard, but okay.
Word, no.
He hasn't texted any of us because we're all of age.
Word, yeah. Sure. That's on another podcast. But yeah, shout out to Drake, Kanye, and the whole Good Music Camp, Pusha T, and all those, and all the new young artists out there still doing their thing and keeping hip hop going to a whole nother level. The Kendrick Lamars, the J. Cole's, the Big Sean's, the Wale's, of course. Keep it up the good work. My second thing I love most about the last decade would be pop music. For all those that don't know, Michael Jackson is my senpai. He's the reason why I have this disposition. I love dancing. I love being entertaining. The reason why I love bringing joy into the lives of other individuals. And I can't like pop music if I don't idolize, more or less, the king of pop. So in the last 10 years, guess what we got? The one and only Justin Bieber. He gave me Baby. Not me. He gave the world Baby. And his album, Believe, the deluxe edition, is one of the best pop albums.
A lot I believed about it.
Yeah, I see what you did there. But his Believe deluxe edition was one of the best pop albums to come out in the last 10 years. That shit go hard. That shit bumps. That shit had hits. Also, I just need somebody to love. Who doesn't need that? I need that every day in my life. So I gotta let a shorty know
Usher
that shit.
remix or non-Usher?
Oh, Usher remix. I put that shit on the playlist, but it wasn't an Usher remix that I heard. It was like, I gotta delete this shit.
Usher may have found Justin Bieber, but Usher's in a different category.
Yeah, that's why he was not. Yeah. And also, I have to shout out Keisha. She was my favorite female rapper in the game before Nicki Minaj popped up because a lot of people.
Kesha?
No, Keisha. I said it. It's Keisha because Andre 3 Stacks called it Keisha in a remix.
I can't
Dirty.
say anything because I say data.
Sleazy.
And he said data.
Sleazy, but no, Keisha, you know, K-E, $H-A, what's more rapper than that? But no, Keisha is the bad girl of pop music in the last decade. Her Warrior album, the deluxe version, is a fucking classic.
Not gonna lie,
I love
Old
it.
Ass Dinosaur is my favorite song.
Exactly.
Talking about creepy old man
And plus, when you start a track, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. No rapper has ever came out and started a track feeling like Diddy. Shout out to Keisha for that.
I felt better than Diddy.
No, you can't. Diddy on top of the world, girl. He made girls walk to the Brooklyn for cheesecake. Let's not forget about that. And the third of my favorite pop groups or influencers of the decade has to be the Black Eyed Peas. They dropped the end and the beginning, 2 classic pop albums. Some of my favorite music to dance to. If you haven't listened to those, you should definitely look them out. Check those out because the Black Eyed Peas were on top of the game for a long ass minute. And some of my best memories have been out.
Of bands.
Exactly. Some of my best memories out dancing and doing my thing has been with my boy CDK. Oi, oi, oi. Shaking and grooving, moving, and doing what we do the best. And that's cutting a rug. So I have to shout them out for that. My number 3 would be the television show of Glee. Glee incorporated some things I love most about life. That was dancing, theatrics, and music.
Can I say this about Glee?
Go ahead.
And everybody in their life walks around in life and they're like, oh my god, what song would play to this moment in my life? And that's it.
And Glee did that.
And whenever a song came on, Glee did that.
Exactly. And one of my favorite things too about Glee were those moments when you were taken out of disbelief and every song matched. Another property gave it to us by Ryan Murphy. Shout out to Santana. That was my favorite Glee character. And Glee also gave me the feeling of actually trying out to be on a TV show. They had the Glee Project. I did not send in an audition tape, but I thought about it. If you listen to the podcast, you heard me talk about the purple swag. I'm not going to get into that whole spiel right now. But also, without Glee, we went and got the Sing Off, which was a acapella competition show. And also, it would not gave me one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, Pitch Perfect. And that all came off the Glee wave. So thank you, Ryan Murphy, for that. Number 4 would be none other than
Give me the note, tie me the tree, give me the hope to run out of steam. Somebody say it could be here. We could be roped up, tied up, dead in a tree. I don't. No, I wouldn't.
I don't remember the end part neither. I don't remember that part.
Never mind, guys. That show is called Community, and we are neither Allison Brie or Donald Glover, 2 of my favorite actors and actresses that spun off from that show.
We are the worst when it comes to knowing the lyrics to this theme song, British style.
Hell yeah. And yes, and that's also where if you ever see me and Roscoe, we give our signature handshake. We got that handshake from Troy and Abed from Community. So shout out to Dan Harmon, also that gave us Rick and Morty. So that's always going to be one of my favorite things because it's also like, if not my favorite TV series of all time, definitely top 3. Number 5 would be the MCU. Enough said. I don't even have to go into that shit. Number 6, I did just have anime, but I'm just gonna cut to the chase and just be like Legend of Korra because it was a continuation for arguably the best animated American series of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It continued that story with a new Avatar, Korra, and her adventures and her finding love with Asami, which is a woman, and Nickelodeon didn't want to show that kiss. But that's on them. I get it. It's for kids. They weren't ready for that. But now,
kids should always be ready for love being love.
Kids should just not fall in love with strangers.
That shit too. But aren't we all strangers in the beginning? And and also my number 7 favorite thing of this decade is a little show called The Vampire Diaries, brought to you by CW. Because Vampire Diaries gave me not only that series, it gave me the original spinoff and the current season of Legacies, and it's some of the best programming that's been on CW. And for some people that didn't want to watch it because they thought, oh no, it's Twilight. No, it's better than Twilight.
No, it's not supernatural.
And yeah, it's not supernatural. It's supreme natural. Because they go above and beyond and actually fight the devil.
That was a hyena laugh to it.
And they actually find the devil and defeat the devil and Vampire Diaries. So shout outs to all those people. Number 8 would definitely be The Arrow, which gave us the Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earth. If you're listening to this podcast, you need to go listen to Escaping Podcast, the main one, and see all those. Listen to all those episodes when we talk about the CW and all the crisis that those heroes face. And number 9,
I like that pun.
word. And number 9 would be Go Power Rangers, your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Not alone they gave us a comic book this decade, which is phenomenal. One's called Go Power Rangers, the other's called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and also they gave us.
I don't think you can ever go wrong with Power Rangers.
You can't, and they gave us the movie that was a great movie for what it was.
Yep.
Some people try to shit on it because it's not the original. I'm like, go back and watch the original movie as an adult and tell me which one you like better. It's campy, but at the same time, it's not for this.
That's like
age.
me telling you Lost Boys would be don't remake.
You could. No, you could go.
Rewind.
Ponder. And last but not least, number 10, I'm going to give it to the most messy and black families of the last decade, and it's going to be them Lions from Empire. The boy Lucius, Cookie, Jamal, Andre, and am I forgetting one? Hakeem. Drip, drop. Drippity
Is that
drop.
the one who pretended his kid?
That was Juice Smoothie.
That was Juice?
There was Juice Smollett. But Emperor, I love it. I watch it. I know what it is. I'm entertained by it. It gives me.
I'm entertained too by people that can.
Just fake shit.
Great.
Yes, but
Great.
that what actors do. He's maybe just trying to get more into the role. But I love the show for its messiness, the music. It also gave me the show that I like better than Empire, Star, because I bring me, and I love that shit. And also because Empire is Empire, it made me watch another one of my favorite shows, which is Nashville, which we like to call the White Empire. And I love me some country music. Shout out to Raina James, R.I.P., and Juliette Barnes.
R.I.P. Raina James.
And that will bring me to the end of my top 10 favorite things of the decade, which also brings us to the wrap up of our first official episode. So
we'd like to thank you again, Michelle.
Of course. And then we just one little closing bit too. I just want to ask everybody as a part of a segment for my up and coming episodes. If you haven't done it, what would you recommend for somebody doing something in the new decade that you haven't done? If they haven't done it in this decade, just to be quick.
As in, like,
yes, anything.
I would recommend.
I think I would recommend somebody taking something that they love that's been made into a film version and saying what it is that they love, bringing it to the new generation. Because just because it's what we grew up with, what are we presenting to the new generation?
So
and that's something I love the idea
So
of.
if you haven't brought it into the new generation, how would you bring it in? Is that what you're asking people?
Yeah.
To think about it before they just criticize somebody for doing it themselves.
Yeah.
What about you, Ross? If they haven't done it, what should they do? What should they do in this next decade?
The only suggestion I think I could honestly give right now is if something of passionate of yours you like has been changed or altered to something that you feel has been wrong, try to look at it from other ways besides just your biased ways and try to find the good out of it. I.e., I know a lot of people hate Death Note, the American remake, but if you look at it as the
it's
fact...
entertainment, but it's not my anime that I
But if you look at it as the fact that, hey, this is an American remake, and if you switch Light in... Light's personality with the girl that always was attracted to him, Kira. If you change their personalities for the live action, if you made it that female and made the personality of Light the female, like in the American live action, and made Light more like Kira. Yeah. He was a young, like most Americans. I think that's what I'm young expecting. American boys are
which is what I think I'm expecting from audience.
Word. So basically, if you haven't seen things from somebody else's eyes, look through somebody else's lenses.
Or at least give somebody the opportunity to explain why they like it and then try to look at it from that way.
Exactly. If you're mimic, you should look through things through Scott Summers' Ruby Quartz lenses.
Yes.
Exactly. Or in your case, being a Kakashi, you should look through into Itachi's eyes. Word. And for me, if you haven't done it last decade, you should definitely go to Vegas in this decade, because Vegas is the place to be at least once in your life. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. It should be
minus the naked drunks.
No, that's fine too. Just don't have to touch them. But I would just say it should be like a law. If you don't go to Vegas before you're 21, we send you into the military or on the island, so you have some Hunger Game type battle royale type scenario playoff. All right, guys. So this brings us to the end of episode 0 of Yo, where the captions at? Of course, I'm yours truly, Kels Roscoe. And just remember, be one or be nothing.
And it's your boy Roscoe. If I have to say one thing, just be clean.
All right, guys. Take care and enjoy yourselves.